Good Saturday morning. Welcome into another Martin Morning Report. Yes, we're doing it on a Saturday. We're going to see how it feels and what you think, how it does. There's just a lot to talk about, so I figured let's go ahead and do another one. Back-to-back days. This one is devoted to and sponsored by Bennett Blake. He's always positive. He's always thinking great things about all of his friends and tells us great things about ourselves. Positive Paul, we call him. So this one's for you, Bennett. Last night, yesterday, in the world of KMA Land Sports, how about the Girls State Wrestling Tournament? Number one thing on the agenda, it is 3 state championships. Molly Allen, maybe you heard of her, Miss Molly, a state champion, and she does it for a, third time. Third time in her career. Of course, last year, the first Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union sanctioned state wrestling event, but a 3-time state champion now. What's next for Molly Allen? Who knows? The sky is the limit for her. Also, Mari Mans, what a match. Unbelievable battle. Back and forth, down 3-0 going into the third. She finds a way to get an escape and a takedown and holds on for the rest of that third period and then wins late in overtime. Maybe the best match of the state finals. Also last night, another state championship for the Olsen family. Aaron Olsen's little sister, or maybe is Aaron now Nicole's brother? I think that's what it is. Nicole Olsen wins the state championship. She goes out on top. An incredibly dominant performance, an incredibly dominant state tournament. And the Missouri Valley standout is a state champion. And Aaron welcomes her into that hall of state wrestling championships. On to number 2, last night in basketball. Man, it was a full night of basketball, and conference championships were clinched outright. Sharing Trainer Girls clinches the outright Western Iowa Conference Championship. I had to get that one right. Yeah, outright championship for Trainer. They are the WIC champs. Fremont Mills girls finish out the Corner Conference undefeated. They were 12-0 in the regular season, of course, dominant during the conference tournament. Martinsdale St. Mary's finished off a perfect Pride of Iowa Conference season. Cam clinched a share of the Rolling Valley Conference. They've got one game left with Arweva. They beat that Arweva team. They are the outright RVC champs. In boys hoops, Lewis Central and Kemper should now be even atop the Hawkeye 10 Conference. I believe Lewis Central lost last night to Harlan, which allowed for Kemper to come back even after Lewis Central had beaten them earlier in the week. And now with one game left, I believe these are both conference games. Kemper against Denison Schleswig next week. Lewis Central against Glenwood. They both win. They share the title. Of course, there are other scenarios. Underwood has at least a share of the Western Iowa Conference Championship. They are now 19-0, undefeated in the WIC. One big game left on Tuesday on our KMA Extreme against Trainer. Trainer has one loss. That was to Underwood. Great game. Underwood, of course, gets to welcome Trainer to the crib this upcoming week. And if they're able to win that, they are the outright champions of the Western Iowa Conference. Bedford is your outright Pride of Iowa Conference champion. They clinched the share earlier in the week. They clinched it outright in overtime last night against Southeast Warren. Exira Elkhorn Kimballton. I did a little research, cracked some numbers, and they have clinched a share of the Rolling Valley Conference championship as well. Cam has, that's not Cam who has Peyton Sheridan. That'd be Woodbine Peyton Sheridan, and they can get a share of their own this upcoming week. Sioux City East takes a big step with a win over AL last night. TJ helps them out. A win over Heelan. Heelan's second loss. East has just one loss. And now East has Sioux City North. They can clinch it outright this upcoming week. Plus, Worth County in Missouri clinches a Grand River Conference West Division championship last night. Milestones galore last night as we move on to number 3 from yesterday. Lindsay Davis scored 44 for Nottoway Valley in their win over Central Decatur. And that breaks her own single game record. She also broke the career record, which was recently set by Maddox DeVault, who graduated a couple of years ago. And now Davis owns the single game and the career record there at Nottoway Valley. Trivia question, Davis had her 44-point game is the second most in a single game by a girls basketball player from KMA land this year. Trivia question, who scored more in a game this year? We'll tell you at the end of this thing. Underwood's Elizabeth Jacobson reached 1,000 career points, so she's got the kills, she's got the points. Interesting to see what kind of a list there is of 1,000 kills, 1,000 points. Exira Elkhorn Kimballton's Cash M. Garden helping the Spartans to clinch that outright or that share of the RVC. He reaches 1,000 career points as well. Top 10 girls scorers from last. Actually, this isn't top 10. This is 20-point scores. Davis, we mentioned 44. Cadley Bailey of Creston with 29. Eva Stephenson of Cam had 26. Lizzie Schleter of East Atchison also had 26. Brea Nickel from Mount Ayr scored 25. Trishelle Miller, Sarah Brown, Vera Grom, Kinsey Esslinger, Lauren Herndon all scored 23 points. Miller of East, Brown of Lamar's, Grom of West, Esslinger of Orion Maxburg, Herndon, of course, from North Nottoway, Morgan Keller of Murray, Izzy Eisbach of Nottoway Valley, each scored 22. Brooke Larson of Lewis Central, Peyton Harder of Atlantic, and Charlie Pryor of Woodbine all scored 21. And Abby Lee of Heelan, Kiana Schultz from Denison Schleswig, and Carson Wellhausen, a big breakout game for the Clarendon. They all scored 20 points. There were 28 boys who scored over 20. It was led by Matt Knoll of Heelan, who had 34 and 16 in a loss to TJ. By the way, that TJ victory last night, first time in 34 tries during the Bound era that they have beat Heelan. They're making history this year under head coach Donnie Johnson. When's the last time TJ beat Heelan? I don't know the answer. You let me know. Max DeVries of Red Oak had 33. Dawson Nelson of Nottoway Valley scored 31. By the way, I want to say this. Dawson, you are scoring a lot of points. I know the Nottoway Valley team, it's been a struggle at their wins and losses wise, but I see you, brother. I see you. You're scoring a lot. Cale Turner, 30. Cal Hayden, 30 last night. Grady Jepson, Carter Reed, Titus Barber, all scoring 28. Gabe Funk had 27. Yes, Reed from Lennox, Funk from Lennox, combined for 55. Mason McCready of Riverside, Ray Snyder of Wayne scored 26. Cal Peterman of Bedford dropped in 25. Cole Arnold of Lewis Central, Jordan DeWally of TJ, Tyler New of Worth County, and Ross Kusel on the list again from IKM Manning. All scored 24 points. Nash Dykes had 23 for Central Decatur. Big list at 22. AJ Flemister of Sioux City East. Colby McQueen from Stanberry. Noah Simons of Conestoga, Nebraska. Brock Bading of Kemper. And Jackson Ruggles of Mount Ayr all scored 22. Dane Jacobson of Ashland Greenwood. What am I thinking? Lance Arkfeld and Luke Weavers from Denison Schleswig. Seth Hudson of East Union each scored 21. Colton Rasmussen and Hunter Gilliland, Atlantic and Red Oak, respectively, both scored 20. All right, one more thing from yesterday, the Baker Bash. It's a fun tournament. 15 Baker games for everybody at this Abraham Lincoln Links tournament. And the Clarinda girls and the St. Albert boys are your champions. Clarinda girls at 27.05. Lamar's, one of the great teams in all of the states, 26.67. So Clarinda bests Lamar's yesterday. Clarinda had two scores of 215 and a 210 in those Baker games. St. Albert went 257 in game 1 on the boys' side. And then again, 257 in game 11. I bet they did that hi-ho, let's go thing quite a bit. And they finished with 3,188. AL was second there, 29.50. Today, it is state duels in Iowa. Trevor Mater has all the coverage there from Coralville. Follow him on Twitter, TrevMater96, online, KMAland.com. Reports on the air as well, AM 960, FM 99.1, streaming, KMAland.com. State duels also in Nebraska at Kearney. Meanwhile, we've got district swimming in Iowa boys, some regular season hoops, and some sub-district girls wrestling in Nebraska. Turner, say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Goodbye. Get on out of here. It's Saturday. Enjoy yourself. Thanks a lot for tuning in on the Martin Morning Report.